have it. That was the the Nintendo Direct, Nintendo Switch 2 from the 2nd of April 2025. Overall, it's interesting to see Nintendo pulling these things, and I can see that I think this is going to be their last gimmick console. And I think this is why they're pulling all the stops. They're going all out with everything because they know the next console they make, the next generation, they are going to have to go in and fight face to face with Sony and Xbox. They no longer have the option to they have run out of gimmicks now. These are their last gimmicks, and some of these are fairly outdated. You know, the cameras, the Xbox Kinect that we saw 12 years ago with the Xbox One. The mouse function. So you can tell they're grasping at straws here, and they're pulling off all the stops that they can. This is their last generation in which they get to be in a league of their own. Yeah, this is the last time they get to be in a league of their own. Next generation, they know they are going to have to compete with PlayStation toe-to-toe. They no longer get to be like, oh, PlayStation and Xbox are here and Nintendo's here doing their own thing. This is the last one. This is it. This is the last time. And they can't do the handheld hybrid. They're the only ones anymore because Steam Lenovo and a bunch of these other companies are doing the handheld hybrids better than Nintendo is. They have run out of their unique market. This is the last chance they get. This is the last console, I think, that we will see with this. After this, we are either going to see them. Their next console is going to be a block. It's going to be a lot bigger. It's going to have to be a lot more powerful because now it's not that they're trying to stay low budget, is that they are trying to keep every company wants to keep their budget low. That's pretty much a given. But I think they are grasping at straws to stay unique because that's been the thing about Nintendo since the Nintendo 64. When did the Nintendo 64 launch? When did you launch? 1996. For nearly 30 years, Nintendo has relied on them being unique and doing something different every generation. Every generation since the Nintendo 64, they have been just doing something different, doing something that no one else was doing, adding gimmick after gimmick after gimmick. So 30 years of trying, and many times they succeeded very well. The Nintendo Wii was a very, very interesting console. The Nintendo GameCube with the modular stuff and the interesting control, it was a very interesting twist to things. And all that kind of stuff. Thank you for hanging out, Karaman. I'll catch you around, yeah. I don't know if we're gonna play after this. I am getting tired. But yeah, 30 years. Like we're watching this on my birthday, by the way, so I just turned 30 years old. So yes, for almost as long as I have been alive, Nintendo has been relying on the power of gimmicks and being different. And thank you, Nate. Thank you. I appreciate it. And they are running out of them. After 30 years, they are running out of gimmicks. Again, a mouse function. A wireless mouse function. I hope they got them. I hope they get them to work right and like crisp and just right. Because, mouse technology has been advancing pretty heavily over the past 30 years. The camera thing. Adding Discord, like you can tell how much they are grasping at straws here. It almost feels desperate to me. They are selling this, and they are doing a good job at selling this, because some of these things I actually found pretty neat. The approach of this, they're finding pretty. I'm not getting one. I have a PC. I have everything I want. I already have everything I want. The new FromSoft game, I'm gonna wait to see if we can either get a ROM or for From Software to eventually release it. So the MOS has been around for over 60 years by now, well over 60 years, since the 1960s. So that would, yeah, about 60 years, yeah. So yeah, no, they are. It feels to me that they're pulling at straws here. I do like that they are embracing third parties a lot more. Because don't forget, the GameCube, they kind of did, like, being a third party to Nintendo was always really difficult, and now they are starting to embrace this a bit more. Because they are running out of gimmicks. And I think they have run out of gimmicks now. Like, I don't know what they could possibly come up with for the next generation that would keep them in this boat. After this generation, they're going to have to jump into the same boat as PlayStation and Xbox. And they are going to be 30 years behind in that. Because the Nintendo has never, ever gone for power. This is the first time since the Super Nintendo that they are simply going for a more powerful version of a previous console. Ever since that, we could maybe say that with the Nintendo DS, DSi, 3DS, 2DS, they kind of did that. But for mainline consoles, this is the first time where all they did, because the Wii and the Wii U, that was not an upgrade on hardware, just an upgrade on hardware. That was a different gimmick altogether. Like every console has been a different gimmick. Nintendo 64 with the 3-hand controller, the Nintendo GameCube with the weird modular stuff, the small discs, the portable stuff, the Nintendo Wii with the motion controllers, the Nintendo Wii U with the early days of the hybrid between living room and mobile, and the Nintendo Switch embracing that fully. Nintendo Switch 2 is just more powerful version of the Switch. And their gimmicks are running out. So they have to be very smart. They have to make all of their money now. Because after this, Nintendo has to go compete with PlayStation face to face. And that's not going to be pretty. Because Nintendo is 30 years behind. Because while Nintendo was doing their own thing, being the weird kid that was coming up with these neat inventions, Xbox and PlayStation had been on an arms race for power. Of course, no one stood a chance against PC gaming, but they never do. In terms of the console war, we had that. And we've had that for a very long time. Now we're going to have to wait and see. I am happy to see that we're finally getting a non-Sony, legally distinct, not Bloodborne. I am sad to see that it's a Nintendo exclusive. It's not enough to make me buy a Nintendo Switch. I'm happy to see it. I'm hyped to see it. I'm not buying it. I'm not getting a Nintendo Switch. Every gimmick this thing has, I already have a camera. I already have a mouse. Thank you very much. I don't need your console. I already have a Switch, I already have a camera, I already have a mouse. I don't need nothing else. I'm not interested in their games. I'm not the target audience. I'm not the target audience anymore. Kirby Air Ride, they nearly got me there. But that showed me they're desperate. I think with the whole Astrobot and with Sony and Pal World fully pushing for a bunch of these things, they realize that they have to start pulling the trigger. They are no longer in the comfortable position that they were 10 years ago, where no matter what they did, people would just buy it. Now they have some serious competition, and they're going to have way more serious competition. The world has changed, and Nintendo is trying not to. We're going to have to wait and see how this plays out. So, yeah. Anyway, there you go. That was the Nintendo Direct.